So the plan was to remove the stock and replace it with that more modern style um, blade fuse panel. The stock one has seen better days and the cover's missing anyway, so I figured I'd pop this new one in here. First thing I did was cut a blank out of 18 gauge stainless steel, just put it on top and then scribed a line. Then I center punched there just to make sure I could bolt it down to the Courier when I was finished. I didn't want it to sit flat on there because then there'd be nowhere for the screws to go, so I thought I'd take two sockets and kind of make a dimple. I did it on my press. You probably could get away with doing this with a hammer if you were really careful in lining them up. Although if you're going to do it manually like that, you probably want a proper dimple die instead of making do with sockets. You can kind of see what I'm trying to achieve now. It twists up the metal a little bit, but I'll straighten it out again afterwards. Just doing the second one. Again, the metal's twisting up a little bit. Then when I pop it out here, you can see how far I've recessed it in. And now it's time to straighten it back out. Just flattening it out. The way it wrinkles there in the one spot next to where I put the dimple in probably indicates I need to shrink it there, but lots of light taps will just kind of flatten it out either way. Speeding up the process here just so you don't have to watch the whole thing. You see it's getting flatter already. That's pretty good. Then I took it over to the belt grinder. I'm going to clean up the edges, remove all the burrs, especially on the one side. I cut this with an angle grinder. You could cut it with like aviation shears or a manual shear or a nibbler or whatever, but angle grinder worked for me. It was pretty fast. And I'm just going to sneak up closer on the scribe line. I'm just showing you one corner. You kind of catch what I'm doing. I did that all the way around. And then brought it back to the anvil. And I drilled out the mounting points. Except I paused here because I'm not an animal. I remembered I should be using some cutting lubricant. Except it's minus 15 outside right now and my garage isn't much warmer. So I couldn't really hardly get any out of the bottle. Back to drilling. These are the holes for where the actual fuse panel is going to screw onto. I tapped those when I was finished as well. Here I'm just adding a little cutting lube to the other side. Except I couldn't get any out, so I guess it's the thought that counts. Now it's getting pretty close to done. Time to bolt it on. I use some low strength thread locker just because I don't want it to rattle loose, but I'm not trying to make it hard to remove later either. These are stainless fasteners. Quickly snugged it up with the ratchet. Then it was time to bolt down the fuse panel. The back fastener is a little bit difficult to get in because of the wiring harness. I probably could have shifted the whole panel a little bit further forward. I'll probably show in another video how to actually do the wiring because you have to like pair each of the fuses together. There's only 3 power supplies, and of course the truck has 6 fuses, and then in that fuse panel that I'm adding, I have 8 because I'm gonna have a couple extra for accessories. Wires don't actually fit on the fuse panel. I'm gonna have to redo those. That's it.
3, but it barely suits me. Spending much money, she says it's not funny. Everything's new, watch out, it could happen to you.